So did your girlfriend ever find out?
Oh my goodness.
Uh-oh.
It was Christmas break.
Okay.
I went home, and it got to the point where when I saw here's little Miss Faithful that I'm coming home to from Norfolk, Virginia, and I get home after I done the deed, and she saw me. I couldn't even do it. The guilt was riding me so bad. I confessed.
Okay, you told her.
Oh man, I just man.
Because the weight was too heavy for you.
Yes, it was. I'm like, here she is, following the morality rules, and I veered off into no man's land, and I come back, and okay, check this out. You ever seen the Maury Povich show?
Yes, who's the father?
Oh my goodness! But I'm like, okay, they'll have those segments where somebody would bring somebody on there just to tell them a secret. I got a secret.
Oh yeah.
That I cheated on you.
Yeah.
And then they'll come back and say, well, you could have told me that at home.
Right. You have to
I'm that guy.
people. Right. Okay.
I'm that guy. You don't need to get me in front of national TV and a live studio audience. The guilt will ride me so hard that I got to get rid of it.
Right.
And that's what happened. And we broke up.
Okay. So how long were you in the military?
I was in the military for 2.5 years.
Okay, 2.5 years.
Cause check this out. Okay, I get up there in the military. You know, me and my high school sweetheart broke up, but then I get in the military. It was April of 1997.
Okay.
You know, I get up there. You know, I'm stationed at Fort Leonard Wood, Missouri. So I'm doing my thing there. But then I go to McDonald's one day. I order my food and I see the manager. Oh my God. Yeah, she was cute. I'm like, all right.
Okay.
I could barely eat my food.
Okay.
Because I was just so spellbound. I'm like, oh, she's cute, man. I got all that, man. I bite my burger and peek it over the wall. It's just,
Okay.
oh my God. I felt like a little kid. So I'm like, how am I gonna tell her that I want to holler at her? So I get the bright idea of I just straight up go to her. You know how they print out the little paper with the receipt on it. I was like, can I have a little piece of paper and a pen? And she gave me a piece of paper, and I wrote down my name and my phone number.
Okay.
And I folded it up and I gave her the pen back, but I took the little note and with the cover of the pen. I stuck a little piece of paper in there, hoping she would discover it. 3 days later,
Oh wow.
I get a phone call.
Okay.
And I was like, oh, we started dating.
Okay.
I was like, all right. Now see, here's the thing though. Because I gave in to that temptation in Norfolk, Virginia, those cookies became a drug.
Okay. So you became addicted to it.
Oh no, man. I'm like, so this is what it's like to be on the other side of it. I was like, it got to the point where that was the only thing I was looking for.
Okay.
How soon? See, this is sad, isn't it? How soon can I taste your cookies, man? Oh my God, man. So it's that became the objective. If you ask me that, and there were times when she asked me that at the time, and I wouldn't admit it to save my life. But looking back, yeah,
Okay.
that was it. You know?
So this girl at McDonald's, what happened with that? Did
Oh,
y'all get into a relationship?
Yeah,
Okay.
she wound up being my daughter's mother.
Okay.
And what's crazy, and look, I'm here to lay all the cards on the table.
Let's do it.
At that time,
How old were you?
I was 22.
Okay.
At that time, she had the best tasting cookies I ever had, even though it was only 2 people.
Okay. Okay.
I ain't had much to go off of.
Right.
But at the same time, I'm like, mind blown.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Mm-hmm. I'm like, I ain't gotta look nowhere else. You ain't gotta work. She ain't had to worry about me cheating on her at all.
Okay.
Look, that says her much.
Right. Right.
But anyway, look, here's the deal.
Mm-hmm.
So she lived right outside the town where I was stationed at.
Okay.
But at one point, she actually had to move away.
Okay.
She moved from a little town out there, outside of Fort Leonard Wood was St. Robert / Waynesville, and but she wanted whatever circumstance was had her move to Kansas City,
Okay.
4.5 hours away.
Mm-hmm.
But every weekend, I made that drive.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
I made that drive every weekend
Okay.
just to go see her
Okay.
because I didn't want to lose those cookies.
Right.
Because I knew I wasn't get nothing like that nowhere else. I'm like, man, it's a shame. But it's the look. I'm trying to tell these folk that may be veering this way. That, you know, I've been through that, and don't want to see none of these younger folk going through none of this stuff that I'm describing right now.
Right.
Oh man.
So did you ever marry her?
No.
How many children did y'all have?
Oh, just one.
Okay.
And man, and I always said, if I ever had a child, I wanted it to be a girl.
Okay.
And she wound up being a girl. I was so happy.
Okay.
I'm like, it was crazy. I'm like, okay, I was a school bus driver.
Okay.
At that time. And I still, on the day that she was born, I still had no time to be there for the birth and still make it on time for my bus route that morning.
Okay, wow.
And I was able to announce it to the kids. I became a brand new father. I was so proud.
Okay.
But yeah.
Now during this time, did your relationship with your dad get any better?
No.
Okay.
As a matter of fact, it got worse.
And why is that?
It's because when things went south with my daughter's mother, they're like, hey, okay, let me back up a little bit. Because see, here's the thing. When my daughter's mom, okay, because she moved so far away, you know, I was making that 4-hour drive back and forth every weekend. There were times I lost my focus while being in the military. I had to be, work started at 8 a.m., you know, on Monday morning. I would leave Kansas City, 4.5 hour drive, right? Leave Kansas City at like 2:30 Monday morning.
Oh, wow.
Just so I could have every minute that I could with her, man, because I did not want to, I'm like, man, there was one time where I actually left at like 2:30 in the morning. I got to a rest stop and decided to take a nap. And I'm like, okay, like I said, I had to be at work 8 o'clock. How about I woke up at 8:30
Oh, wow.
and I was still 30 miles out.
So you were totally
Oh
late.
my God, man. I was so scared to go in. I just knew I was going, I ain't no telling what. When I got there, I had my weekend privileges taken away from me for a certain amount of time. So I had to go without her. Man. I was like, man, so it's like I said, it became a drug to me. So be without it.
So what did that do to you while you were out it?
Man, but it got so bad that because I, lost my focus, wasn't paying attention, and stuff like that. I got demoted.
Okay.
Because I made it to an E4 in the military, and I lost my focus so bad. I got demoted one, and then it eventually got to the point where, and I thank God for this to this day, for my first sergeant and my commander. Look, if they get to watch this, and they were trying to warn me about, what this is doing to you and being 21 and being addicted to cookies.
Yeah.
I wasn't listening. I was like, all I could come back with, you just don't want me to be happy. No, man. Look, I can look back now and say they were right. It got to the point now where I had to separate from the military eventually because I just lost all my focus and wound up moving in with her. Because I'm like, I wasn't trying to go back home, man, because I was taught, if you're a man, you on your own. It's like my mama had a saying: when you turn 18, you're out the door.
Okay.
You see, I got mine. Now go get yours. That's where I come from.
Okay, so 18 and out.
Yeah. So I'm like, man, I can't go back home. But then it's shacking up. I mean, they went south and during that time, I said I never wanted to be like my dad. I said if I ever had a child, I looked at Maury, stuff like that, with all them talk shows, and where the baby daddy walk out on them and stuff like that. I said I'll never do that. But then, they got so bad in that house that I wound up getting booted out. And I didn't want to go back home, so I wound up being homeless. Going to a shelter, and the fighting stuff, oh man, it's crazy. See, that's what I'm trying to tell these young men especially. Don't let the cookies lead you.
So how long were you homeless?
Oh man, okay, now the thing was they weren't that. It wasn't the amount of time.
Okay.
It was about how many times.
Okay.
Because the thing was, like I said, you remember I told you how my mama ran the household, and I'm looking at her being a young man. I'm like thinking, this is how life goes. I get my girlfriend, and I'm expecting that out of her.
Okay.
To the point where she came, and I think we had dinner, and she came back and said, well, can you do me a favor and do those dishes? I came back and innocently said, I don't know if she remembered it. I came back and innocently said, that's not my job.
And that's what you were taught, because that's all you knew.
Yeah, and she came back, excuse me?
Right.
I'm like, I said, that's not my job. You thought I'd have killed her mama.
Yeah.
After saying that, man, I'm like, what?
Right. You had no clue.
No clue.
Okay.
And see, that's what I'm talking about. I had no idea what was going on back there. And see, I never had sense enough to know, know the way the world worked.
Right. But I don't think it's the fact that you didn't have sense. I think that's all that you knew.
Yeah.
So what you saw is what you knew. So
that's it.
Yeah, that it's not about having sense. It's the fact that that's all you knew at the time, and that's all you grew up in. So of course you're gonna think that's the way of life because that's what you grew up in. So, yeah. Now that you're older, you can see that that's not the way it's supposed to be, and that women don't do everything in the household. Well, they do, but it depends on if they have someone in the household to share it with. Then you have shared responsibilities, and that's what you didn't see in your life.
Right, because Dad was gone.
Right, exactly. And speaking of your dad, did you ever get a relationship back with him during that time?
You know what's a trip? I'm like, now after things went south with my daughter's mama, wound up getting kicked out, going homeless, wound up going home, back to my hometown of Natchez,
Okay.
back with my mama,
So you went back to your mom's house at what age?
I was 24.
Okay. And how did she feel about that, knowing the rule of 18 and out?
Oh my goodness. She is like, I am not about to raise no man.
Okay. But she let you back into the house.
Yeah,
so.
she did. I
Okay.
like it. But then I say it wasn't for long.
Okay.
Because let me see. It was 2000.
Mm-hmm.
It was wrong with it. January, February 2000. She sent me to go live with Dad.
Okay.
I'm like, are you kidding me? The man I don't even trust.
Right.
I'm like, man, no.
So how did that happen, knowing who he was and how you dealt with him as a child? You being a grown man, living with your father, knowing his history, how did that work?
3 words.
Okay.
It was worse.
Okay.
I'm like, man, oh my goodness. Dad was so strung out, you know, from being divorced from mom. Man, he was baking cookies all over town.
Okay. So that's all you saw.
He turned into a cookie monster.
Okay.
He had like 2, 3, 4 girlfriends. I mean, you know, even the next door neighbor who had a man. It got so bad. Watch this. It got to the point where the next door neighbor, the female, came and, you know, knocked on the door looking for him.
Mm-hmm.
And I answered the door. He was taking a nap.
Mm-hmm.
And, you know, I just told him, well, he sleep right now. I'll tell him you came back. You know, innocent.
Right.
When I told him that, he blew up. Because I did not know. I was turned away. His booty call.
Oh, wow. Okay. Wow.
What?
So you had no idea what was going on.
Oh my God! I'm like,
Just a neighbor.
and he got so mad he kicked me out of his house.
Oh, wow. So when that happened, where did you go?
I mean, I spent the night in the back of a tractor trailer, an abandoned tractor trailer. That's crazy. I went back, you know, a couple of days later, but I'm like, I mean, he was barely there anyway. Always spending the night at one of his girlfriend's house or something like that. Man, I lived with him for like 9 months until he finally found an apartment for me.
Okay, he found one for you.
Look, I put quote marks around it because it was basically a roach motel.
Oh, okay.
But then at the same time, I took it because I was just glad to be out of there. You know, I ain't want to be on this thumb no more.
So how old were you when you moved into this apartment?
Let me see. It was, like I said, 9 months later. So I was, you know, I just turned 25.
25, okay.
But
So
then,
what happened with your life when you turned 25?
I'm in that motel.
Okay.
You know, it was like crack headquarters. But it was still better than being under Dad's thumb.
Okay.
But then, ironically, that's why I met, you know, I went to go pay my rent 1 week.
Okay.
And,
You found somebody else.
but wait a minute, here's the thing, though.
Okay.
You know, I'm thinking I'm surrounded by crackheads and drug addicts and alcoholics and stuff like that. But I find somebody normal.
Okay.
I'm like, I'm not the only normal person here.
Right.
I'm like, wow, I got to get to know her.
Okay. So she worked in the office?
No,
Okay.
she actually one of the residents.
Okay. Okay.
I'm like, oh, wow. So we meet and we start dating, and she actually becomes my first wife.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. It's a trip.
So how was it being married to her for the first time?
Oh, okay. Now here. Oh my goodness. Life took a crazy turn.
Okay.
We get married, and this shows you how, you know, the difference between the cost of living of here and down there, and then back then.
Back then, yeah.
It was 2002.
Okay.
We had an apartment. We was only paying $395.
Wow.
Yeah, we wish we could have that these days. Man.
Yes.
But how about that apartment? That living room in there was so nice, so big, that it had room for both of our living room sets.
Oh, wow. Okay. So
Yeah.
right. Okay.
For
Wow.
only $395. Had you know, had a boss apartment, had nice jobs.
Okay.
You know, I worked at a chicken plant, chicken processing plant.
Okay.
And she worked at a nursing home as a CNA.
Okay.
But how about, now this is where life threw the ultimate test at us.
Mm-hmm.
How about we wound up losing both our jobs? Look, okay, now as far as my job was concerned, my job was a 30-mile commute.
Oh, wow.
Yeah,
Okay.
it was in the town of Laurel, Mississippi.
Okay.
We lived in the city of Hattiesburg.
Okay.
And we went to, and my job was in Laurel, so it was a 30-minute drive. But how about my car broke down, and I'm the only one making that drive, going up from Hattiesburg to Laurel, and I couldn't even find a ride, and I lost my job.
Oh, wow. Okay. What about her?
She wound up, now this is really crazy. She wound up going on maternity leave
Okay.
to have our son.
Okay.
Now, you know, women are granted some maternity leave when they have the child.
Right.
You know, they have to spend some time when they have no bonding time, whatever. But when she came back, how about they gave her job away? I'm like, who does that?
Right.
But, so my car broke down. Her job was given away. And, you know, and this is right before she having our son.
Right.
We just got married. And look, we got married in May
Okay.
of 2002. And this is right before Thanksgiving
Oh, wow.
of that same year, 2002. My son's birthday on December 10th.
Oh, wow.
And it was basically, when I lost my job, I went home for Thanksgiving break. Car broke down, couldn't come back.
Oh, wow.
So Thanksgiving break became permanent break. So it's like we both lose our jobs. We lost our apartment. Our car got repossessed, and we had to move in with her mama.
Oh, wow. With the baby.
Well, all right. Looks like y'all made it to the end of part 2. Well, as crazy as part 1 was, part 2 is even crazier, right? But guess what? Believe it or not, part 3 gets even crazier. If you want to still keep the story going, go ahead and start part 3 up. But yeah, it gets crazier. Well, all right. I'll see y'all next time.